episode 13. I'm going to be taking you guys through a recap of round 64. As usual, not always, but got a little Coors Light going. It's Saturday. A little Zimbabwe. I'm not a big Zimbabwe guy. I've just been on it. A couple of my friends got me on the wave, like literally in the last month. Anyways, we'll start with the East. Have I clicked on this? Yeah, I want to try and get back to the round of 64. Got Duke, got TCU, St. John's, Kansas. This is where I messed up. Louisville didn't have their best player, and they still ended up winning by 4. I think his name was Michael Brown. Last time this mic went out for some type of malfunction, so hopefully we don't have that issue again. I know a couple of my friends who actually watched, 2 of them said at 25 minutes it went out. Also, just for your information, all these games are free to watch from what I've seen just now. At least this TCU Duke game is free on ncaa.com. Now, when I try to screen record it, even though this will be posted after the game, the NCAA doesn't allow you to screen record the screen, so I had to use a different site. Doesn't really, it shouldn't affect them. Okay. Kansas, they had a good showing from that Darren Peterson kid, the guy who was supposed to be the number 1 pick in the draft, who had a lot of injury issues. So there's speculations. Maybe he was making the decision to have limited minutes because of such a promising future. So looks like he's ready to go for the tournament. Let's take a look at how many points he dropped. It's going to be slow because we got a lot of stuff going on. Maybe I'll just have to skip that and see what I can see on my phone. We're gonna need this to work. When I do buff streams, it opens random ass links. Alright, come on. Yeah, so last night, Peterson, this kid's supposed to be a stud, dropped 28 in 36 minutes in 4 quarters, or 2 halves, 40 minutes. So he played almost the entire game and won by 8 points. Cal Baptist gave them a little run for their money. I don't know if that says more about Kansas than it does about them. But Michigan State took care of business against North Dakota State. UCLA, a lot of people are fans of that team. Took out Central Florida. UConn, somewhat of a close one. Didn't they have a guy with something like 27 rebounds? Is that them? So in the East, I only missed that Louisville game, and I went for the upset there. In the South, Florida smacked them. Iowa, I got that one there. Vandy took care of our boy Amir Khan. Shout out Casey. Casey learned about Amir Khan on the last episode. He's a fan. No point in me doing an hour-long episode because it's just too long at this point in the show. Nebraska smacked Troy. VCU pulled off the upset against North Carolina. That one was crazy because they were down by a lot. And then North Carolina fell apart in the last 10 minutes. They couldn't make free throws. This game went to overtime. And yeah, I mean, VCU has been good in the past, so it's not a huge surprise there. Illinois, the Foreigners, the Euros, they had a big game from Merkovich. I think he had 25 plus, maybe 29 points, possibly a career high. So that's another good matchup, I guess, in the next round. I lost this one here, St. Mary's. They were favored against Texas A&M. Texas A&M got out to a lead early, and they held on to it. Houston, I couldn't possibly see Idaho pulling that one off. You know, some of the smaller schools like High Point, they've already been known for this is their second year in the tournament in a row, I believe. So, I mean, they played a little bit last year in it, so it's not a surprise that they won their game. But Idaho, I haven't seen them in the tournament since I can remember. Arizona smashed Long Island. What is this, moving to the west? Is this where I fell apart? I think I fell apart in the west, yes. Got the Utah State victory over Villanova. Wisconsin let a lot of people down. But on the other side, a lot of people knew about High Point. And they had that one guy, Chris Johnston. I'm going to look up his name. So, High Point. That was on Thursday, right? They won by 1 point. Okay, Johnson only had 14. They had another guy, Martin, guard, 23 and 10, double-double, and then Anderson, another double-double, 15 and 11. Arkansas beat Hawaii. I mean, they had their foot on the pedal at the gate. I want to say they were up by 20 fast, or 15 plus early. Texas with upset over BYU. Dabansta, he's going to be a top 3 pick, if not number 1. I could see the Jazz taking them. I'm not exactly sure where the NBA standings are right now, but that would just make a lot of sense. A Utah college player going to the Utah Jazz. Texas, you know, maybe that strength of schedule showed well, playing all those SEC opponents. Gonzaga took care of business against Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State, that's a respectable. They definitely passed. They definitely beat the spread, I would assume, but spreads don't matter in March. Mizzou, see, I told you I lost 3 games out of the West. This is not good. Mizzou climbed back. They took the lead by 4 with about 5 minutes left. They couldn't hang on. They had problems, especially in the first half. I think Mark Mitchell, their star player, didn't score a single point. His first field goal was a little jumper inside of the key, maybe around the free throw line, and he tried to get going, but it was just too late, and then they started fouling, and Miami wasn't missing their free throws. Missouri wasn't able to hit threes. They had the momentum late in the game. I took them at, I think it was like plus 250 when they were down maybe like 6 points in the first half. Because they were already underdogs going into it. And then they came back, and I could have cashed out with like $6 profit. I think I put 20 on it to win 50. And basically, I was in it for the 50. I wasn't worried about losing $20, really. I really wanted to see Missouri win. It's sad that they didn't. And I had them beating Purdue in the next round, so that's not a good look. Completely chalked in that little section. It's a 40-point game right there in the Sweet 16. So the points increase. Excuse me. You get more points for your bracket the farther you go. So I'm hoping Duke goes the whole way, I guess, but it's been fun. Purdue, Braden Smith, he passed, I forgot who it was, the all-time assist leader in college basketball. See if I can make this a little bit bigger. Braden Smith is on. So So look at this guy. He hasn't had a very good season. Last year he was a lot better, and Purdue was ranked a lot higher. Purdue Smith breaks NBA career assist record, putting his career total to 1,083. So it was Bobby Hurley's 33-year-old record. Who is Bobby Hurley? Is that Dan Hurley's dad? The UConn coach? Probably not. Well, that's a big one. Braden Smith, all-time assist leader. Let's go Michigan. They blew out Howard, essentially. St. Louis, out of the gates, I think they went up to I think it was like a 40-point lead at half. It was like 60-20 at half. It was a terrible game by Georgia. But in the morning games today, Michigan smacked St. Louis, so their little Cinderella story's over. Texas Tech, without JT Toppin, took care of Akron. Alabama over Hofstra. Tennessee over Miami, Ohio. Another Cinderella story that didn't pan out, even though they made it through the first four. It's going to be interesting, and they're talking about how much the NIL has affected the NCAA and these smaller schools, because if you're putting on a show in the tournament here for, let's say, Wright State, you're going to get offered an actual bag to go play somewhere else next year. So the NIL is a huge deal. They're talking about, does this affect March Madness? As we saw last year, I think they were all number 1 seeds, or maybe one number 2 seed in the Final Four. Kentucky beat Santa Clara. That game was close, so Santa Clara had the ball late. Let's try to show a clip of Santa Clara and Kentucky. Santa Clara, Kentucky, the timeout. I was listening to it on the radio, and I heard the coach's interview, but I haven't actually took a real close-up of this. So we'll just play both these at the same time. Hopefully it can load. Come on, Reddit. Maybe an ad. We'll see. So Santa Clara hits a 3. Coach is right here. He's trying to call timeout, 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 timeout. Ref doesn't award it. And that was a dead ball after the 3. Pulls up from not quite half court, but ties the game on a bank shot, sends that one into overtime, and Kentucky pulls away. So Santa Clara coach is pissed about that. They absolutely got screwed, He wanted a chance to set up his defense. Got absolutely robbed there. And then Iowa State took care of Tennessee State. So far, the games that have been played in the round of 32. This morning was Michigan State. And is that the only game that's ended so far? Yeah. And Michigan has played as well. So, there's my little recap. There's a lot of games today. I'll try to upload this as soon as I can. Doesn't matter if nobody watches it. I'm trying to get to 100 episodes. And then I'm going to cook up a couple lineups. This show has no affiliation with Prize Picks here. I don't represent myself as a Prize Picks employee. I am just a Major League Baseball ambassador on Discord, which is pretty sick. But I will be getting a little bit more official when it comes baseball season this week. Opening day is on Netflix. It's going to be Yankees versus Giants on Netflix. Alright. Let's see if this thing can load. Not sure if it will. Maybe it's over here. The lag on this is terrible. This computer's got to be like 10 years old. Maybe like 8 years old. I'll cook whatever I want because nobody's going to be tailing off of this video. So I got $91 in promo funds. So I have to use that before I can cash it out. So I don't have to hit a huge multiplier here. You know, I don't have to go for a 5x or a 6x or even a 3x. You know, I could do a 1.5x, or even if I half-x'd it, I'd still be pulling out with 45 bucks. It's 45 more than zero. And I'm not going to do NBA. I'm going to stick to college theme here. Bang, a 3 from Duke. Duke also doesn't have one of their best players, Caleb Proctor. He's not supposed to be back to the Final Four. I wish I could click just the Saturday games, but it's a lot easier to do this through the app. Maybe I'll do Mrkovic again against VCU because he's fucking red hot. Where else does it go? Oh yeah, I mean 11.5 points seems pretty doable. Try to get down there. Oh no. It is a little slow here. It's a wee bit slow. I'm not doing the fucking demon. Come on. Here we go. Absolutely slow. I'm gonna do it on my phone and I'm gonna show you guys what I got. We'll talk about it. Anytime you have promotional money, you don't always have to be an egotistical person, if that's the right word, and try to go for a triple 3x. So this game starts at 450 versus VCU. I got Mrkovic, who just came off a 29 point game against VCU, Virginia Commonwealth. And then I will go, let's take a look. I'll go to the Vandy game. I'll go to Tyler Tanner. He had a good game as well. I'll go 14.5 points for him. And then who else? I think that's fine. I got a little payout boost. So, I'll max out at a $5 lineup with that boost maybe. You take the boost off. Or I'll throw 5 on the boost. And then I'll throw one more leg in there. Let's go. Let's look at the High Point game. What's that guy? Is this first half? What is this? Why are their points so low? Okay, Rob Martin, Terry Anderson. I don't know. Maybe I don't fuck around with High Point because I've never really seen him play. I'll be watching that game tonight. I'll stick with my 2 right here. So right now, I got two lineups. Let's refresh this. $10 to win. $15. Merkovich and Tyler Tanner. And that's all I need. I'm just going to get this posted. Catch the rest of this game.